feel that our people have came a long way. As you see, we got a black president now, so we done came a long way, and you know, black people are starting to be the face of the generations now. That most of the culture is come from us, as African Americans. But you know what I'm saying, we still got a little ways to go. I won't say far, but you know, I feel like we still need to help our brothers out, still lend a hand. Sometimes we still get caught up in that crab in the bucket. I feel like we came a long way.
The minorities' progress in the past 40 years has come a long way. We have made a lot of achievements, and we even have a black president, which is a great thing. But I think we still have a long way to go. There are still discrepancies between inner city schools, especially high schools, and historically black universities when it comes to the amount of finances they receive. There's still a big poverty gap. There's still not enough minority leaders that are positive, and there's still not enough minorities that are making a positive contribution and in the know and in the news about it. If all we have to look up to are Clarence Thomas and Al Sharpton in the media all the time, I don't believe that young minorities can get a great view of what it means to be a positive image in America.
On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like the really, really good and 1 being really bad, I would say we're probably like right in the middle. Only because we have made a lot of progress. We just don't acknowledge those who are in the background who make the really progressive steps as far as like being doctors and lawyers and like architects, like all the different people who have other occupations other than just rappers and athletes. Like we only give them the spotlight, and so when they fall, we think the whole race falls behind, and that's not true. We have a lot of people in the background who are doing a lot of great stuff that we don't acknowledge. So I feel like if we put more spotlight on them, we would see our progress more so than what the media perceives.
I think that the progress is developed like a lot. Like I think they've gone very far with it. I think that they've managed to, you know, just stand their ground and not let a lot affect them. So I think they've made a lot of
Hold on, I don't know how to answer that one. We have a black president now. That's a huge step. You know, there's you know, minorities in Congress. There's CEO minorities. I think that's a huge step since, you know, Civil War. It's a big change for minorities.
Do you feel we're represented well on all sorts of levels of society, or underrepresented, do you feel? That's still at this time?
It depends. I think underrepresented.
I think so.
Me, I would say that it has changed a lot as I've gotten older. When I was younger, I definitely went through a lot of, you know, racism towards me, but as I've gotten older, it's changed a lot. So.
Progress part, I guess it's still not where it needs to be, but it definitely has progressed in the last one.
I think they've progressed a lot. My mother is African American, and she actually went to a segregated school.
Okay.
And so from coming from that all the way now till we have African American teachers that are teaching white students, I think we've progressed a lot. And I think sometimes we forget how much we've progressed, but we have a lot. And now we have an African American president, and that's the pinnacle of power in this country. So I think we've progressed a lot.
I would say, in a way, we've definitely progressed, but at the same time, we kind of haven't. A lot of people would say we progressed because now we have a black president. We've made it to almost the top with the black president. But at the same time, I don't feel like we have as many big, important black leaders as we used to. You know what I mean? Back then, you had MLK and, Jesse Jackson and Malcolm X and things like that. But I feel like back then they had more to fight for than we have nowadays. We have so much freedom, so we don't really have as much to fight for. So I don't feel like as many black leaders stepping up. For us nowadays, our black leaders is Obama and our favorite rapper. You know what I mean? So in a way we've progressed, to the point where we have, a lot of the liberties and freedoms we want. But at the same time, I think more positive black, people need to step up and become leaders, you know what I mean?
I definitely think there is like a huge progress, and maybe compared to that it's kind of like flatlined, but I don't think it's necessarily like a bad thing. I think that there are just less things that need to be overcome.
So, I got you. So you said things are flatlined, and you think it's because it's just not as much that needs to be overtaken, or do you think it's something that that we're not doing? What do you honestly feel?
No. I mean, I think that there's just been a lot of. I think it's very hard to get. Let me think of what I'm trying to say. I think that it was very hard to create a lot of programs and gain a lot of support for it. And now that support there's a large amount of support, that it tends to look like it's flatlined, and the fact that there is so much support now. So just in the past 40 years, I think that, yeah, that's the thoughts.
The past 40 years?
Do you think we progressed? Do you think it's at a standstill? Do you think they're regressing? How do you feel, honestly, when you see it?
Well, I can't say for sure, but I take a wild guess. It's progressed phenomenally, nothing short of MLK, but that was solely back in the 60s. As far as the last 4 years ago, from the 70s on, I can't say for sure.
But do you feel like, minorities are being better represented in today's society, or is it kind of not increasing, or do you think it is what it is, or?
I can't say. I haven't looked up the info.